This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're delighted to be joined once again with the maddest frog in Irish boxing, Graham McCormack. How are you, mate?
I'm good, bud. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Um, Probably still, I think a bit. Obviously, we've just obviously had the Paddy McCrory show, obviously in the field last week, and it's that come down again, obviously after a show. Obviously, as you know, when you fight, obviously once the fight's over, it's like, where's the next one? When's the next one? With a few
Yeah,
weeks
yeah, yeah.
before the next show, and you're sort of going, what do I do next? I'm having to sit about the house and doing Zoom interviews, obviously doing all the interviews in person last week's brilliant. It's easy without having to set up Zoom and do things. But yes, that's the joys of boxing, isn't it? You just can't have it every week in Ireland.
No, you said it, bud. Yeah, that's it, man. It's like 5, 6 weeks in between shows. But in fairness, though, Irish boxing is booming out at the minute. Like I can't remember a time it's been so busy and exciting, drawn, and there's so many shows. And even this year, like there's been so many shows. Seeing you had a post up the other day, like it was 14 shows. It's fucking unreal. Like, do you know what I mean? There was years there where there was one show a year. You know what I mean? It's like we're at 14 shows already, or we're coming up to 14 shows the next two. Like there'll probably be more. You know what I mean? So it is good that we're in such a good time for Irish boxing. I'm delighted to be a part of it, to be honest with you, because I kind of felt like was there ever going to be a boom in Irish boxing? And now there is a boom in Irish boxing. It's buzzing all over the country, man. Do you know what I mean? So I'm delighted to be a part of it and to still be in the mix, I suppose, Irish boxing. So it's great at the minute, like, you know.
I know that we obviously we take the hand of each other nearly on a daily basis, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or a private mail or whatever. But
Yeah.
obviously, I haven't spoke to you obviously in an interview capacity, obviously since Waterford. I guess
Yeah.
I guess obviously I could have obviously if I wasn't if I wasn't a sort of personal sort of person that could have got an interview from me afterwards, but it probably wouldn't have been the right time. I
Yeah.
guess when you have a fight like that, I know you'd sort of said afterwards, look, we'll do an interview if you want, but I obviously was in the same hotel and stuff as you, and you were just sort of, I don't know, it's as if you were sort of froze nearly afterwards, sort of, at the fact that sort of what happened, like
Mm.
it's well documented that obviously I thought you'd won the fight,
Yeah.
the knockdown it wasn't scored early in the fight, and obviously it ended
Mm.
up being given to Craig McCarthy. But you've
Yeah.
obviously done the time sort of now to sit back and sort of dwell on it. Do you sort of, I guess you sort of these things happen in boxing, don't they? Obviously, if a referee can't see a knockdown, or if you don't get the one that you expect, you just have to keep motoring on, don't you?
Yeah, look, I mean, like at the time, I was fuming, man. Do you know what I mean? I was gutted, and I was more angry than fucking anything else because I felt I'd won, and a lot of people around it felt I'd won. And look, obviously Craig is going to feel he won, and his team's going to feel he won. But you know, I felt I won, and a lot of boxing people around had felt the same as I felt. So like that kind of annoyed me even a bit more, you know. But look, it is what it is, you know. It's like when I look back at it now, I'm like, okay, I won in my head, and I do feel like I won the fight, and I'm not going to give him too much airtime because you know that's put behind me. You know, him himself, his whole team is going to put behind me. I don't really care about him anymore, but I do feel like I won the fight. So yeah, at the time I was fair angry. Loads of stuff happened after the fight. Loads of shit was said and done. It's not, that's it. That's boxing, man. Emotions run high, and it is what it is. It's water off a duck's back now, man. Do you know what I mean? And I let him go on with his thing, and I'm moving on with mine. Do you know what I mean? I went up to middleweight, had a fight. I come back down to my natural weight now, middleweight, and I move on. Like I suppose I could have been fucking kicking myself and feeling sorry for myself. And I kind of was for a day or two, man, but it's just not my thing to do, man. I feel sorry for myself. Look, it happens in boxing, it happens in amateur boxing, it happens in pro boxing. Look, I'm not even going to get into a big argument with them online. They felt they won. We felt we won. That's the way it is. They got the decision on the night. We felt it was the wrong decision. I still feel that way. But at the end of the day, what's done is done. No, you can't go back in time. I don't give a fuck. Let them off, do what they want to do, whatever. And I'm going to focus on what's in front of me now. You know what I mean? And not get stuck up on that. Like, but yeah, look, at the time, man, it was a kick in the stones, man. You know what I mean? But look, it happens. You know what I mean? It happens. It happened to me a couple of times in amateur boxing, and now it's happened to me in pro boxing, and that's it, man. You know, I move on now, and like I suppose you got to kind of look at the positives in boxing. Like I felt I had a good performance. I went up a weight. against a bigger, stronger fella, you know what I mean? And I performed very well, you know. So that's the positives we took out of it, you know what I mean? And look at another last of my records. Well, like, you know me, Steve, well, like, I'm not in this to protect my record, like, I'm in this to fight. And like, also, like, it's a loss that I don't take as a loss, even though I'm not deluded, like, you know, I know I've lost my record, like, but you know, I feel like I won the fight, you know, and that's the way it is, you know what I mean? So I just know at this point in my time, I'm like, all right, look, it is what it is, I'm done, and good luck to him and whatever he does, I don't care, like, you know what I mean?
I know that obviously you were supposed to fight in Wales, obviously a couple of weeks ago, and you obviously had to pull out, obviously with an injury. How's the foot healing? Is it obviously back to full health now?
Yeah, it's good, man. I actually had sprained it the week before the Craig McCarthy fight, and I just strapped it up. Obviously, I wasn't going to pull out of the fight or anything like that. It's not me. I don't pull out of the fight, so I went on and fought. And I wasn't sorting out of the fight, so I'm not going to say it was. It was fine. I felt good in the fight, and then a couple of weeks later, I was out jogging and just got fucking sore again. I went over on it again. You know what I mean? And then I went in sparring. I went in sparring on a Friday, and that was I just popped like I fell over, and like I wasn't that bad, but I just went over and it just blew out straight away. And I was like, fuck, it can't be good. Like, so I went out to my physio, Craig Red, and just said, look, man, you have to give it 2 weeks rest. But like, I was good because I was looking forward to going to Wales and fighting and stuff like that. But look, like, the way I looked at it was like, okay, I can strap it up again. But like, it wasn't a big title fight like the McCarthy fight was. You know, I didn't need to take the risk of doing more damage. I'm not 25, you know what I mean? It takes me a bit longer to heal up from these injuries, you know. So I just took 2 or 3 weeks off, man, to be honest with you. I didn't ruin it or anything like that. I was still able to like walk and I could go to the gym and do a few upper body things, like, but I wasn't able to like box or put any pressure on it. So I just wasn't taking the risk. It was pointless, you know what I mean?
But particularly, obviously, I guess as I say, with you being 36, you're no spring chicken anymore, and obviously, you don't want an injury. You don't want an injury to obviously to stop you from getting opportunities now. So I guess in a smaller fight that sort of that would have been in Wales, you obviously rather look for the bigger fights because that's where you're going to make more money.
That was it. But and like when it happened me first week for Graham Cat fight, I was like, all right, just do whatever you have to do to the fight. And like I said, my physio Craig Redden is brilliant at what he does. So it actually wasn't sore the night of the fight or anything like that. We had it strapped up and taped up. But like when it happened me in the spar the second, I was like, this isn't a big fight. You know, there's no point in taking a risk of doing damage to it in a 4 rounder. Do you know what I mean? That I don't have to do, like, you know. So I said, no, I'm not. Like, Craig said, look, you need to give it 2 weeks rest. So we just gave it 2 weeks rest, man. And now it's perfect. I'm running nearly every day now again, and I just left the heel up, and I feel great now again. Like, so it's good.
And obviously, I guess the sort of point of this sort of interview tonight, we're obviously recording this in advance of obviously your announcement, but you and Dominic Donegan's going to rematch again. It nearly sort of feels like deja vu. It was about a year ago you fought for the first time for the Celtic middleweight title, and you and Dom's going at it again on the RDS show on the 16th of September in Dublin.
Yeah,
Tell me obviously about that. Is it a delight sort of moment? Obviously, I guess it's given Dom obviously a chance of revenge. Sort of for you. What is it for you? Obviously, is it just getting yourself back into contention for an Irish title? Is that where you're seeing your finish line sort of with it? Is that your reward?
yeah. Look, I tell you, I always say, Steve. Like, it's like I'm 36. I don't have time to be going out fighting journeyman. And no disrespect to journeyman, because I respect anyone that gets in a ring. Like, but I tell you the truth, man. I can't get up for those kind of fights, man. I'm not as focused, and like, I have a busy life outside of boxing, man. I work and I have my family and stuff like that, and so, like, for me to take myself away from my family and to cut back and work, like, I have to train 3 times a day for this fight, for the damn fight, like, and that's what I need. I need that kind of motivation. I need that kind of drive, and this fight was in and said, like, look, you and Dom is there for a rematch for the Kelly title, and the winner gets to go on and fight for another title. So, like, that's unbelievable motivation for me, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm no spring chicken, but I'm having a great time. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great in the gym. I feel fit and sharp and good. My sparring is going great. So, like, these are the fights I want, boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, that. Like, I've said this show for a long time. Like, and like, realistically, like, I don't know if there are many other Irish fighters that have had as many domestic fights as me, man. I've had a lot of domestic fights, and like, when I finish boxing, I don't want to have any regrets, and this is what I'm doing is to not have any regrets. You know what I mean? And to keep going, and I felt like maybe, like, I could have let myself down a small bit in a couple of camps for fights, and a couple of things got into my head, and I didn't train as hard as I needed to train for some fights and do certain things. I'm not going to say who, but just for certain fights, and I feel like I owe it to myself and my team to go back around again. You know what I mean? And give it absolutely everything. I feel like I'm better than I've ever shown in a ring. People that have seen me spar or been in gym can tell you that. You know what I mean? I'm like I feel like I can perform better than I've ever done in a ring. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring, man. And hats off to Dam. I've nothing bad to say about him. I've no beef with him anymore. But I suppose you can always say we're rivals, like really. Like we always kind of have had that little rivalry back and forth between us. I know we're both signed to the same manager now, but I've nothing bad to say about him. Hats off to him, you know what I mean? This is his chance at revenge. You know what I mean? I have to beat him again. You know what I mean? It's simple as like, or it takes away my last victory against him. You know what I mean? So this is, if anything, this is more important to me than the first time we fought because it means more. You know what I mean? So I'm training harder now than I ever did, and I know what comes after this. Who wins comes after this. So like that's what I'm focused on is prolonging my career and having some more big fights.
It's nearly, as I say, it's nearly like reversing time back for you. 12 months, obviously, the Dominic fight, and then obviously leading into, I guess obviously middleweight. It doesn't take much sort of working out to obviously find out who the winner will be against. Obviously, a rematch with Fergus Quinn. Do you sort of, and I know that we've sort of spoke personally, obviously, about this more than you online, but you obviously felt things didn't go well. Not that you're taking anything away from Fergus in the win, but things probably didn't go as well for as you wanted. So you want a chance at redemption. To sort of,
Yeah, look, yeah, that's it, man. Like I take nothing away from Fergus. He's a hell of a fighter, man. He's a strong young kid, and he performed unbelievably that night. I didn't have the best camp. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't make excuses for fights, but you know me, I don't, and that's just the way it is. But I feel like now that God has given me another chance now at redemption, and it's for me more than anything else. I swear, it's I'm not doing this for to I don't care what anyone says about me. I genuinely I don't give a fuck if the fella across the road says Graham's the biggest dickhead on the planet. Fuck him, is this and that. I don't care. This is for me. You know what I mean? This is the self battle, and that fucking it's something that I need to do for myself mentally. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of months, man. It's exciting. It's very, very exciting, and it's gotten me back in the gym with a real hunger, man. Do you know what I mean? And I feel it in the gym. I feel like I don't have to push myself to go to the gym. You know what I mean? Sometimes I've had to push myself and go to the gym. Like, whereas now, like I'm in the gym 3 times a day. You know what I mean? And I don't have to beat myself up to go to the gym. Or I'm enjoying it a lot more now. And like I'm my own worst enemy, man. Like there's no one else to blame for that. I'm not one of those guys. I can't point the fingers at. It's me, man. It's always a battle against me. It's me versus me all the time, no matter what it is. But mainly with my boxing, man. You know what I mean? If my head gets the better of me, man, it's hard for me to get out of that fucking mind frame. You know what I mean? And so like I'm in a really good headspace now, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of months. It's exciting. It's giving me a real kick. It's giving me a real kick in the ass what I needed, but you know what I mean. So it's exciting times ahead, but I just want to stay focused and what's ahead of me. And I feel like if I do, then success is the only option for me.
obviously, as you know, obviously I put a thing up on Instagram, obviously for questions. Obviously one of the questions I've got is obviously who wins, and obviously a potential. This is a strange one because obviously I know with this fight. So you fought Craig McCarthy, Kevin Cronin fought obviously Jamie Morrissey as your stablemate. He's obviously then been sparring recently. So someone's asked who wins in a potential fight between Kevin Cronin and Craig McCarthy.
I'll be straight up honest, and this is no disrespect. Like I'll be honest, yeah, and I'm not doing this to throw a dig at Craig. So if him or his brother watch this, I don't care about them. And I don't mean that like what they do is what they do, and that's the truth. But me personally, I think Kevin Cronin beats him. I tell you the truth, Kevin is a lot better than I had given him credit for, and he's a lot stronger than I gave him credit for. He's a strong kid, man, and I've done a lot of sparring. I'm actually sparring again this week. No, Jamie is my brother. You know what I mean? Jamie Morrissey, me, our brother. So like, I actually asked Jamie first before I sparred Kevin because you know what I mean? We're on the same team. We respect each other. So, that's just supposed to be a teammate. So Jamie was cool with me sparring him. I've nothing against Kevin. He's a sound guy. And even when they were fighting, when him and Jamie were fighting, I've nothing against him. And I don't think him and Jamie had much beef either. To be honest, like, I don't think boxers have real beef with each other. I think the only kind of beef I've ever had is with the McCarthy's. And I've put that to bed now. They can do what they want and say what they want about me. I don't care anymore. Like, but other than that, like, I think boxers just are, especially in Irish boxing, we just want to fight each other. So I'm rambling on a bit, but who do I think wins the fight? I'll be straight up honest. I think Kevin Cronin wins. That's the truth. I think Kevin Cronin beats him. He's a very, very, he's a lot stronger than people give him credit for. You know, if you look back at his fight with Jamie, you see he came on strong in those fights. You know what I mean? And I've been sparring him, and he comes on strong. You know.
What have you obviously thought of the beef between the two? And obviously, it seems like they're sort of learning a wee bit from you. You know, you've always been the one that's there for the beef. And obviously,
I tell you, man, like they're definitely selling the fight, man. Huh?
Kevin's changed. Obviously, I'm not sure if obviously it's with obviously the fights with Jamie and having to be respectful and end up not getting the decision he wanted. But he's changed and he's turned into an animal now. It's like if you say hello to him, he's like, "What do you want?" You know, he's just changed.
Yeah.
I guess it sells a fight in a good way.
Yeah, look, I mean, like, if you say to the two of them, like, they're selling the fight, man. Because, like, I see the comments all last week, loads of people are commenting, like, so, fair play to the board of them, like, because they're selling the fight, the two of them, you know, and, like, that's what it looks like to me, like, you know, this fight, you know, people want to see this fight, it's a mouth-watering fight, like, I want to see the fight, you know what I mean? So, you know, keep it up, you know what I mean? Like, but I will say it does seem to be legit beef, like, it's not fucking, you know, it's not like slagging and joking, like me and Dom, like, have had some, you know, front, forward, backwards over the years, but like it's never really been malicious or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I think the two boys are, what it seems to me anyway, is real beef. You know what I mean? And I think it'll make for a real intriguing fight if it gets made. I don't know what's happening with it. To be honest, I'm not in a position to talk about it because it's not my fight. Like, but I hope it does get made. It's a good fight, and I'm interested in watching it. Like, I'm looking forward to it. To be honest,
Jack Fitzpatrick's obviously asked a couple of questions. He's obviously asked what ambitions do you have for the rest of your boxing career?
Just to be successful, man. Just to be as successful as I can possibly be. Win as many titles as I can. Have as many fights as I can before I retire. I know when my out time is. I know when it's time for me to go. You know what I mean? And I know when that is. So, like, for me, for my ambition for the rest of my career is to just, and also is to enjoy it, man. You know what I mean? Is to enjoy my career because boxing is a tough game. I suppose people don't see the side of it. You know, I suppose all boxers will be able to relate to me here when I say like it's a tough game, and the fighting, I suppose, is the easiest part of it, man. You know what I mean? You don't see the 10-week, 12-week training camps where you're up early in the morning, you're training 3 times a day, you're sparring once, twice, 3 times a week. You know, it's a tough game, man. It's a very, very tough game. So just to keep enjoying it, man. I love it. And it's also to inspire people to chase their dreams, man, because so I'm not going to get into too much. I don't want to ramble on because I was talking, but like, you know, I was told I'd never achieve anything. So like, chase your dreams no matter what it is. Like, you know what I mean? I'm doing that now and I am enjoying it. I have a great life. Boxing was a massive part of that. You know what I mean? Boxing was a massive part of that. And then it's also to inspire my young fella, man. You know what I mean? I see my young fella there, man, like, and he just loves boxing. Like last night, man, I did not want to train. Like, I was like, nah, I don't want to train tonight. And my young fella was like, come on, let's go and train. I was like, nah, I'm not training tonight. And he's like, come on, Dad, we're going training. And I went out and I done 12 threes. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's what it is for me, man. It's just inspire the youth, inspire the kids to chase their dreams, whether it's boxing, no matter what it is, you know, like inspire people around Limerick that you can change your life and do anything you want to do and have a good life. You know what I mean? I come from a shit life that I made a shit life myself. You know what I mean? And I pulled it back and I have a great life today. And that's, I suppose, one of my goals is to just inspire people to chase their dreams, no matter what it is. Like for me, it's boxing and success. You know what I mean? And boxing is a part of this journey. You know what I mean? Me and my wife have plans and we're working on those plans, you know what I mean? And boxing is a part of that, you know. And when boxing is over, then we'll move on to our next chapter. And yeah, look, I'm gonna enjoy the ride, man. As long as it goes, I'm gonna enjoy the ride. That's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my career and have as many big fights as I can, be involved as many exciting fights as I can. And I suppose that's one thing you can't say about me is like I never shy away from a fight. You know, I'll fight fucking anybody, and I enjoy that people say that about me. You know, and I never wanted people to say like, "Oh, Graham didn't want to fight this, or didn't want to fight that." You know, that'd be for me. That'd be a failure for me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm delighted that people say that about me because they do like, "Oh, there's Graham. He'll fight anyone." You know, that's what it's about for me, man.
I think obviously we pretty much answered this other question from obviously Jack, but obviously is there any fights you're looking for in the future? Obviously, you've obviously your rematch with Donegan locked in, and I guess the dangling cards obviously Fergus Quinn. Would if obviously if you're to beat Fergus Quinn in your rematch and win obviously the Irish title, would you see that? Obviously, sometimes we see, and obviously I don't like to sort of talk about retirement and stuff like that, but if you won an Irish title, would that be you happy? Or knowing that you then be ranked in Europe, would it be then chasing a European title?
Yeah, of course. I don't know, man. You know, like right now at this precise moment, I don't even see Fergus Quinn, and that's not respect him. Like I really like Fergus. I only texted the other night and said, "Well done." You I really like Dam. I've nothing to say bad about these guys. These are just good, entertaining fights and fights that I want. So right now I'm focused on Dam and Dam only. I get through Dam, then I'll focus on Fergus and Fergus only. And if I get through Fergus, then we'll who knows? Yeah, I beat Fergus, and of course I would have one or two more. Of course I would. You know what I mean? Like, that's another chapter. You know what I mean? But for right now, at this precise moment, I see nobody else but Dam, because like you can take your eye off the ball in boxing, man, and you get so. I've done it before when I fought Jade Kareem, and notice I like Jade. I speak still regularly, but I look past him, man. You know what I mean? I look through him, because I sparred him previous to the fight, and I'd handle him very easily in the spar, and everyone was like, "Oh, you'll walk through him, you'll destroy him, you'll stop him." Like they were expecting me to stop in the first round, and it was a close fight, and he took me to war, and like because I looked past him, you know what I mean? So like, I think the worst mistake any boxer can make, whether you're fighting a journeyman or a top level fighter, is look past them, because that's what can happen. So like, Dam is hungry. He has a new trainer. He's coming for revenge. Like, so I am 100% focused on Dam and Dam only. Is this fight? This fight is most important. And a big set. I say a big thanks to my manager Ian Goffin for getting me this big fight again, and obviously a big thanks to Conlon Boxing for giving me an opportunity. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for the people around me, my trainer Sean, all my team. So yeah, look, I'm just focused on Dam and Dam only for now.
And obviously back fighting in Dublin. When was the last time you fought in Dublin? Would have been 2018.
I actually think it was the Jade Kareem fight. Was the last time I fought in Dublin. Eric Donovan headline on TG4. He beat Stephen McAfee for the Irish title. Dublin, I love Dublin, man. I love Dublin. You know what I mean? Like, I lived up in Dublin for 3 years with Eddie Hoyland and his mum, and the Hoylands are family to me. Like, so I'm looking forward to coming back up. I know the lads will come to the fight. You know what I mean? So I love Dublin, man. I love fighting in Dublin. It's a great city for fighting, and it's like the RDS is an iconic place. So I'm delighted to be fighting in there, man. And it's going to be a great night.
And obviously
we're actually flying out to France. We're actually going on holidays the next night, because we had a holiday booked for the start of September, because we thought the fight was the very end of September. So I was like, all right, I'm in camp. I can take a week off, and I still have 3.5 weeks for the fight. You know what I mean? Because we're only going for 5 days or 6 days. And Ian was like, well, remember I text you? I was like, when's the fight? You were like the 16th of September. I was like, fuck. So I had to change, and like, to change the flights, it was actually cheaper to buy new flights. Do you know what I mean? So I just bought new flights, and we changed the dates of accommodation. The place we're going to were really nice. So we're just changing for, wasn't even that much money, but the flights cost a bit, like, but it's great because we get the flight, and then we fly out the next night. You know what I mean? I can take a week off and then get straight back to the gym when I come home.
Busy.
Eat loads of fucking baguettes and drink loads of coffee.
Well, like obviously, I know obviously it hasn't been announced yet. Obviously, hopefully we don't have too long to wait. I'm sure obviously you'll be selling loads of tickets in Limerick. Obviously, it's looking like 5,000 capacity. Tyrone McKenna obviously headlining for the IBO. Luke Keeler on the card, Emmett Brennan on the card. Yourself and Dom. Then I think Dave Ryan and Shannon Kelly maybe for the domestic belt. Maybe Kevin Cronin and Craig McCarthy for an Irish title. The card looks like it's going to be absolutely stacked. So
it's going to be unbelievable. I'm fighting on these kind of cards. Like, this is a dream come true for me, man. Like, people don't see that. Like, I'll be friends with Ken Baker. I don't know, Ken Baker. He walks over in England. Like, he calls himself a fan with a license. Like, I'm the very same, man. I'm a massive boxing fan with a license that gets to fight. That's what I am, man. I love boxing, and to be a part of these big shows. Tyrone McKenna fighting for world title. Luke Keeler. I've always been a fan of Luke Keeler. I'm friendly with Luke Keeler. But like, I've always been a fan of him. He's a nice guy. So like, fighting on these shows, it's going to be a great night, man. I'm delighted to be part of it. Walking out to another fight with my own fly. It's what it's all about for me, man. It's enjoying the process of life, man. And this is a massive chapter of my life, and it's just enjoying it, man. That's what it is for me. It's being in the moment, being present in the moment, and the time, and just enjoying these things, because when it's gone, man. You know what I mean? When this is over, and like, I don't have as long as these young guys do. So when this is over, it's over for me. Like, I'm not going to be one of these guys. When I retire, I'm going to retire. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be boxing anymore. Or, come back at 38. I'm done. So like, I'm really excited about the couple of months I have ahead and stuff like that. And I'm going to enjoy every fucking minute of it. I'm going to enjoy all the training camp. I'm going to enjoy the spars and everything, because it's going to come to an end at some point. But so for me right now, it's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to it, and being a part of these nights is. So it's great, like, and I can't wait for it. So obviously, a massive thanks Ian is the man. Like he works hard for us. You know what I mean? And I suppose people don't see even like I said there a minute ago. People don't see what we go through, but they don't see what like managers and ye guys go through. Like big thanks to ye guys and promoters like Jamie Connon and all and stuff. Like it's a fucking hard game, man. Boxing is a fucking hard game, and like realistically, like all of us get shit for thanks in the boxing game. Like, you know what I mean? Like you, me, managers, promoters. You know, it's a fucking tough game, man. You know, so I respect everyone that's involved in it, man, and a big thanks to everyone that's helped me on this journey, man. And let's fucking enjoy the rest of the ride.
Definitely. Well, listen, thanks very much for your time as always. We know the football starts again this weekend. Obviously,
Well,
United.
and we are back, Man United. Yes. And Harry Maguire's gone. Harry Maguire's gone. Great news today. Great news today. Gone. 30 million. 30 million for Harry Maguire. Crazy.
Well, look, obviously, as a pleasure to we always have sore jaws when we finished, obviously, our interviews, but obviously, as a pleasure, obviously, great to see you back in a big card. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you in Fight Week in Dublin, Graham.
Thanks very much, Steve. Thanks for giving me time, bud. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.